If you've ever told yourselves, we are too busy, we don't have time, we don't have any sitters in town, we can't pull this off, don't ask us to go on dates. Today I'm sharing with you all my pieces to how powerful and how meaningful coffee dates can be for a couple. And I am predicting that you might get addicted once you hear me out and go out and do it a couple, 3 times. So don't say you haven't been warned. Number 1, I love coffee dates because they are easy. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to do, right, the whole 9 yards of, like, is this appropriate? Is it not? What kind of an ambiance is it? What have you? Like, you show up in what you wore for work, or you show up in what you had on when you just went to the gym. It doesn't matter. And the right, like, coffee shop is appropriate. They are also, and I love this. I don't know which one I love more, but they're convenient, right? They're everywhere. And really wherever you live, there's probably one either 5 minutes away in the car, or 10, or literally, like me, I have one that I can see from my window. There's a Starbucks I can walk to 2 minutes probably, and then there's another there's a Caribou across the street that I can walk to in 5 minutes. So whether it's by your work, whether it's by your home, like, there's coffee shops everywhere, and you can pick whichever one you like. And for some people it's fun to, like, rate them by, like, the kind of coffee they have, the ambiance, the music, and then you find your favorite, and then you just make that your thing. They are, so many times when I ask about and prescribe, right, more time for the couples to spend together, they're like, well, but we don't have, right, like, it's so complicated, and it's so expensive, and we don't have $250 to spend on a fancy dinner downtown, and I don't know what else, right? And I'm there saying, who said that you have to spend $250 on a fancy dinner downtown, right? Like, coffee dates, easy on the wallet. No matter where you are in your, like, marriage journey, life journey, whether one of you is in school and working part-time, or both of you work part-time and doing something else, or you are paying off debt, or you're saving for a house, or you're paying off a mortgage, or you are building a new house, or whatever it may be, or furnishing it, or, right, whatever the situation is, right, when I think about, like, the simplest, the easiest, the smallest, like, $10 is what it will take at a coffee shop, right? You get 2, and I guess my husband and I were black coffee drinkers, so maybe it's a little bit more than $10 if you get one of those fancy drinks, right? But you can, right, like, $10-15, so think of, like, $40-60 a month is all the damage that it would do for the wallet, right? Like, totally accessible no matter where you are, like I said, in your journey, money wise, or whatever, doesn't matter. It's really easy, and that cannot be the excuse. The other thing that I love about coffee shops is that it doesn't require a babysitter, because, right, coffee shops open at 6 o'clock in the morning, or 5 sometimes even, and you can do right, most of them stay open till 8 o'clock in the evening. So if it is that you do have children and you would otherwise need, right, for an evening night out or whatever, would need a sitter, you can go to a coffee shop. You drop off your children at school or at daycare, or you take them to camp or whatever, now it's summertime, or you right, like, you get them to where they need to be, and then you do it first thing in the morning, or you do it, like, you do a mid-morning, you can do a lunch hour coffee shop date, you can do mid-afternoon, you get what I'm saying. Like, there's no limit, no and all you need, right, like, you don't need to call for a reservation, you don't need to set it up 2 months and a half in advance because, oh, I'm sorry, we're booked out, right? Like, you show up, you find a two-top, or you find a little love seat or two chairs that are comfortable, and you're set to go. And I love coffee shops because once you do find the one that, right, like you enjoy, the one that, right, the atmosphere you're a fan of, then you can literally just decide on a day of the week and batch it, meaning you say, we're going to do this every fill in the blank day of the week, right? So I'm just going to say Friday, first thing in the morning, I'll see you there at 9 o'clock. I'll do this drop off, you do this drop off, and then we meet there. Or like right before lunch, before the crazy hour, before everybody comes to get their little lunch sandwiches and whatever it may be, right? Like we can make that plan, and it doesn't require that you have, either family in town or a sitter on your list, or 3 that you can reach out to, and that, right, like adds to the cost and adds to the, like, the kids are going to be sort of put out because you're staying away and you're doing something else, and all of this, right? And I'm giving you all these because I've heard them all said, right? Here's all the reasons why we can't make time for each other. Our kids are not going to like it. They're not going to like the person that they're with. It's going to be too late. It's going to, it's too much time away from the family and all of this, right? And I'm here to say that when you, like, the time and the energy that you can put towards the relationship that you two have, that will be the single most, like, the greatest gift that you can give to your kids, right? And you may have heard somebody else say this in the past. You being good together, you two as parents, you two as partners, you two as, right, like as a couple, that in and of itself will be the greatest gift that you can give to your kids. For them to watch you make each other a priority, for them to watch you and have you walk away, or know that, yes, we, mommy and daddy met at the coffee shop for a weekly date, right? And which brings me to the, right, like, frequency. Ideally, this would be happening once a week. If you can't pull off once a week for whatever, once every 2 weeks. Once every month, in my book, is not quite enough. So whatever you need to shift, and maybe it doesn't even have to be a coffee shop every time. Maybe you find something else, but that's what my recommendation would be. So no babysitting needed. It's a flexible, and the one thing that I probably the thing that I love the most about going and having coffee shop dates with your spouse is that you remove, right, you walk away from the chaos or stress of the home, and you walk into this, like, interruption free zone, because there's no laundry that needs to be moved from washer to dryer. We don't need to pay attention to the timer that, because we have a pot of soup on the stove, or some meat that we're baking in the oven, or whatever it may be. There's nothing else is calling your name by way of, oh, there's a bill from school that you need to pay for such and such activity for a child, or whatever other thing that's kind of calling our name, that we get distracted by if we stay home, right? We leave all of that. We leave, and literally even the, like, physical mess, right? I can't vacuum when I'm, even if our house needs vacuuming, I can't do it when I'm not at home, right? I can't go clean the kitchen or the bathroom, or I can't wash the windows, no matter how dirty they are. I'm going to, like, leave that. And a lot of, right, it's summertime when I'm recording this, so a lot of my couples are either doing projects outside, right, with landscaping and what have you, or doing having work done on the insides of their homes, or they're doing it themselves, or they've just moved, or they just got a new pet, or they have right, their kids rooms are being redone, or whatever it may be. Like, none of that is getting in the way. None of that can be a distraction when you literally leave it at home and you go sit in a comfy chair in a comfy space, and you're able to have a meaningful conversation uninterrupted with your spouse for 30 minutes, for half an hour and 30 minutes is the same time, for an hour, or for 2, or however long you can make it happen, depending on your schedule and your work and what all that allows, right? There's nothing that compares to that. And so if you haven't gotten on that train yet of having having and seeing how meaningful and how powerful coffee dates can be, I invite you to join in, try it, give it a month, and then come let me how it goes. Come let me know how it goes and what your favorite spot was. And if there's another idea or another reason why you too have loved coffee dates, I would love to know. I always like to add to my list of things that are a benefit that maybe I didn't think about. So leave that in the comments. And if you are doing coffee dates and you need an alternative way of spending time together, I will leave a video that will walk you through how to go about setting up some dates, so that going forward you have a system and you have a pool from which to choose. And I will walk you through that in the next video, so I'll see you there.